Have you ever been there, staring at a blank page, that cursor just blinking and blinking? You know you've done weeks, maybe months of research, but you have absolutely no idea where to even start? Well, today we're going to break down a pretty revolutionary note-taking system that promises to make that feeling a thing of the past, for good.
So, here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll tackle that core problem that I know we've all faced. Then, we'll uncover the secret of this ridiculously productive professor. After that, we'll get into the nuts and bolts of how his system actually works, learn its key building blocks, and finally, lay out a whole new workflow that you can start using right away.
All right, let's just dive right into the heart of the matter. It's that moment of panic. You know the one. Whether you're trying to write a paper, a big presentation, or heck, even just a really important email.
I mean, let's be honest, we are just swimming in information these days. We read so many books, articles, studies. We highlight everything, we underline, we bookmark. We're constantly gathering more and more and more knowledge.
And yet, when it's time to actually create something new, to write, it's like all that information just vanishes into thin air. We're left staring at this huge empty screen, and all those ideas that seem so brilliant in our heads are suddenly just gone.
And this is the real kicker. The problem isn't writer's block. It's that our whole system is broken. That panic you feel in front of the blank page, it's not a failure of creativity in that moment. It's the direct result of how we failed to capture and connect our thoughts in all the weeks and months leading up to it.
But there is a better way. And we're going to look at a system that was so effective, it allowed one academic to produce what seems like a superhuman amount of work. And here's the secret. It wasn't genius, it was just a smarter way of working.
58. In a career that spanned about 30 years, a German sociologist named Niklas Luhmann published an absolutely mind-boggling 58 books and hundreds of articles. He completely reshaped his entire field. The question is, how on earth did one person do all that?
Luhmann was actually really clear about it. He famously said, "I, of course, do not think everything by myself. It happens mainly within the slip box." Think about that. He wasn't just storing notes somewhere. He was literally having a conversation with his notes.
So how does this thing actually work? Let's pull back the curtain and see how this deceptively simple system can turn a pile of notes into a real partner in your thinking process.
Now this, right here, this is the fundamental shift. This is the whole game. We're so used to asking, okay, where do I file this? Under what topic? The new question is, in what context will I want to stumble upon this idea again? It's a total move away from rigid top-down archiving to dynamic bottom-up connection.
So this is the Zettelkasten, the German word for slipbox. It's not a filing cabinet where you decide the categories beforehand. No, it grows organically, from the bottom up. Every new idea you add gets linked to other ideas, creating this incredible, interconnected web of your own thinking. Look, the goal here is not to create a graveyard for interesting quotes you'll never look at again. It's about building a network that actually talks back to you. The system starts to show you surprising connections, it reminds you of things you forgot years ago, and it helps you develop these really complex arguments over months or even years.
Okay, but to make this system really sing, you've got to be a little disciplined. And that all starts with understanding the three very distinct types of notes that make up the building blocks of the whole thing.
And this table just lays it out perfectly. Fleeting notes are those quick ideas you jot down on a napkin. They have to be processed fast. Project notes are temporary. They're tied to one specific article or book. But the gold, the real treasure, the long-term asset are the permanent notes. Those are what feed your slipbox and build your knowledge over a lifetime.
So what does this actually look like day to day? Let's walk through the new workflow that takes you from just a fleeting thought all the way to a finished draft, without ever having to face that terrifying blank page again.
Just look at this process for a second. See what's happening. Writing isn't this one single, massive, stressful event you have to psych yourself up for. No, it's just the final, almost simple step of putting together the building blocks you've already been creating and connecting day after day. The argument literally builds itself from the ground up.
And the real beauty of all this is how simple it is. You don't need fancy, expensive, complicated software. The power of this system is in the thinking process itself, not in the tools. It's actually designed to minimize all that distraction and maximize deep, connected thought. This quote from Luhmann himself, it gets to the absolute heart of it all. Writing isn't just a thing you do at the end, the output of your thinking. Writing is the thinking. The slipbox is just the external tool that makes that kind of deep, long-term thinking possible.
So by adopting this kind of workflow, you're not just organizing your notes a little better, you're building an idea factory. You're building a lifelong intellectual partner that will generate surprising insights and powerful arguments for years to come. The only question left is, what are you going to build with yours?